Hello, everyone. Welcome to Proficy 2025, our annual product launch webinar series. My name is Michelle Rosinski, and I'll be your host today. On today's webinar, we'll be talking about one of the most exciting advancements coming to Simplicity, Proficy Active Update. This new capability is designed to transform how you manage SCADA project configurations in live production environments. We'll explore how Active Update helps you minimize downtime, maintain production integrity, and confidently implement updates without disrupting operations. Plus, we'll give you a sneak peek at the innovations planned for Simplicity 2026, so you can see how we're continuing to evolve SCADA management to meet the demands of modern industry. But before we get into the good stuff, the event today may include forward-looking statements. The information presented is intended to be an outline of general product direction, and it should not be relied on to make any purchasing decisions. Now for some housekeeping. You should all see an interface with some buttons at the bottom of your screen that look like the ones on the right side of the slide here. Please send any questions you have through the orange chat button. Through the purple envelope button, you can contact our team. The blue paperclip button is our most important, as it's where you'll find relevant content and resources related to today's webinar. Through the peach person icon, you can connect with today's speaker. If you need technical assistance, reach out through the yellow question mark button, but know that most issues can be solved by refreshing your browser. And lastly, please share your feedback. We have the pink checklist button where you can send us your challenges and initiatives. We use this information to build our products collaboratively with your insight, so it's really important. Thank you. Now, I'd like to introduce today's speaker, Chad Smith. He's held roles in quality assurance, software development, engineering leadership, and technical product management, contributing across the full lifecycle of HMI SCADA software solutions. Chad holds a degree in computer engineering from the University of Alberta. He lives on an acreage near Calmar, Alberta, Canada, where he enjoys taking on never-ending projects, playing pickleball and table tennis, and spending time with his 6 kids and growing number of grandkids. So with that, I'll turn it over to Chad.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. I'm excited to share with you insights into the work we're doing on our Simplicity product, especially as we look forward to delivering further functionality and exciting functionality in our 2026 release. As was mentioned, we'll be highlighting one of the key features, our Active Update feature for you, as well as highlighting some of the other capabilities that we'll be bringing into this next release. I'll start just by kind of highlighting our Proficy suite a little bit. Simplicity is part of the Proficy suite. The Proficy suite covers, everything from on-premise communications and in industrial automation, all the way up to a cloud level MES management. This highlights here, the Proficy suite covers multiple aspects of the industrial automation landscape. I'll be talking obviously about production automation at the HMI SCADA level, but the portfolio works seamlessly together all the way up through your MES execution, manufacturing execution software, to the historization of your data and analytics that comes as a result of that, as well as the ability to optimize in the scheduling of how your manufacturing process delivers your products. I'll start just by highlighting a look at kind of the progression of Simplicity over time. Simplicity has been around for a long time, and sometimes that can lead to the idea that maybe it's out of date. But Simplicity is an actively developed product, and we continue to develop critical new features and modernize the capabilities as you move forward in the modern era and use our SCADA to optimize and develop your products and your plants. You can see here that our current release is Simplicity 2024. Simplicity 2024. And there's some key capabilities that were released last year in Simplicity for that. And we are looking towards the June timeframe of next year to release Simplicity 2026. And you can see that, that as we move forward, the supported versions move forward as well. Currently, the 11.0 version is the actively supported version and on up. So again, I'll now move forward and share with you some of the key features we are looking to put into our Simplicity 2026 release. And then, as I mentioned, I will highlight a specific feature that we're really excited to share with you about. One of the focuses for the Simplicity 2026 release has been to improve and enhance our redundancy capabilities in Simplicity. One of the first things we've done is we've stabilized the redundant communication paths between our backup and our primary and secondary servers. This stability essentially allows us to specifically specify the ports that it will communicate across instead of dynamically assigning them, which helps provide a more stable connection and prevent dual master mode issues that are sometimes observed in these scenarios. We've also improved viewer performance in communicating with redundant servers by maintaining redundant processes on the active server when the secondary server comes online, so it doesn't switch and create performance challenges. Those are some of the kind of underlying stability improvements we've made. One of the other key enhancements that we're providing, and this comes from a lot of feedback from you, our customers, trying to set up redundant network scenarios, so where there are subnets and cross locations. Simplicity uses a broadcast technology which makes it really easy to find where your project is running from any viewers or from your redundant communications. However, sometimes this can be very complicated to configure. We will be providing an alternative to broadcast in the Simplicity 2026 release that supports the ability for viewers to directly configure the primary or secondary server for any projects that that viewer is connecting to. We will be now supporting multi-project redundancy in Simplicity. Simplicity supports running multiple projects on the same server, but only one of those running projects can be redundant. In 2026, we will be enabling multiple projects on a server to be running as redundant pairs at the same time. This is helpful to be able to run multiple projects on the same server, reduces the amount of servers you need to run your plant. If you have a big enough server, you can run multiple projects on the same server and have the confidence that comes from being able to do that with redundancy. Simplicity will now support a JSON import-export of its classes and objects. This will make it much easier to use version control systems to do comparison of changes, as JSON is a human-readable format. But this is also a key foundational step for supporting the Portfolio Data Hub initiative, which will be coming in Proficy 2026. The Proficy Data Hub is a key part of our AI and large language model capabilities that we will be providing as we go forward with the Proficy portfolio. It essentially is a unified namespace configuration that allows you to model your data and then access that data in a model context versus directly accessing I/O or historian points directly, for example. This what we will be doing for Simplicity to support this is that you will have the ability to export your Simplicity model in a given Simplicity project up to live inside of this Data Hub enterprise model, as well as be able to turn around and push the any configured data model setups in the enterprise model down to specific Simplicity servers. And this import-export format will be the enabler for that. Configuration Hub is our web-based Proficy configuration tool. Over the next couple of releases in Simplicity, we plan to move most of the configuration capability for Simplicity projects into this web-based interface, allowing you to securely develop your Simplicity application concurrently and from anywhere. Simplicity in the 2026 release will expose its viewers in Configuration Hub. Currently, you can only see servers. As well, we will add the ability to configure the Simplicity option settings in both viewers and servers. This will be a key starter step for us to move the configuration of Simplicity into a web-based interface, modernizing its interfaces and giving you a modern-day experience in configuring your Simplicity projects from anywhere. The Ideas portal, if you're not familiar with it, this is available in our customer portal, but this is a great way to get your Simplicity product ideas communicated to the Simplicity team. What this Ideas portal allows you to do is to both enter your ideas for enhancements and updates and features to be added to Simplicity, but it also lets you upvote other ideas that you see in that Ideas portal that are useful. Every release, we will look to implement the highest voted idea, or even more than one if we have the time for it. In Simplicity 2026, the top voted idea was to provide a way to generate a list of points that are unavailable in a running Simplicity project. So for example, if a point is badly addressed or not communicating to a PLC, then this capability will allow you to generate a list of points that need to be looked at. We will be adding to our alarm scripting API. We'll be adding 2 or 3 more APIs, and this has been primarily driven from the customer voice that we've heard, which will allow you to do things like generate alarms from scripts with additional attributes like the 10 custom alarm attribute values that are supported in Simplicity 2024. Will also allow you to update in a bulk format, be able to update multiple alarms at once based on a filter criteria. So for example, if you wanted to acknowledge all the low severity alarms in your system, you would be able to do that with this new script function. We'll also provide the ability to retrieve a list of alarms based on a filter. So if you need in your scripts to walk through your alarms and do certain actions, you can do this in a filtered way and pick up a set of alarms and have them delineated back to the script function for you to do custom capabilities or custom actions on. Active Update is a zero downtime capability that I will highlight in more detail after this brief update here. This Active Update capability will support the ability to update, test, and deploy a parallel Simplicity project in a production system. When ready, you'll be able to trigger a switch between a running production server and a test server. And this I will highlight more details on this and provide a small demo of this at the end of this webinar. We will be implementing alarm shelving capabilities in Simplicity 2026. Alarm shelving provides operators with the ability to manage how and when they will deal with alarms, providing the ability to push an alarm out of the active alarm viewer for a specified period of time to deal with after more pressing alarms have been dealt with. This is primarily an operator capability, that allows your operators to manage alarm flooding or an overwhelming amount of alarms without the worry that that alarm will not be addressed at some point based on when it is shelved to come back. We will also be enhancing our alarm service in Operations Hub. And as part of that, we will be exposing the full set of alarm fields from the Simplicity generated alarms. The way this works is Simplicity exposes its alarms through its OPC-UA server interface. And today it only provides a subset of those alarm fields. In 2026, we will provide the full set. And along with that capability, we will be enhancing the alarm viewer and the alarm service that serves up those alarms to our Operations Hub interface, which allows you to aggregate alarms across multiple systems into one place in a normalized fashion and provides the ability to filter and show alarms the way you want to across multiple systems. So this is just a tabular format of what I've just talked to you about. And as you get a copy of this deck as at the end of the webinar, you'll be able to kind of see in a more tabular format those same features I just talked to you about. And this highlights kind of the buckets that we've put them into, from reliability and performance to enhancing our alarm capabilities, the active update feature, and then some of those features that are part of our overall Proficy portfolio initiatives. I'll highlight just briefly as well some of the other add-on capabilities that work together with Simplicity to provide you your full SCADA experience, which we will also be providing releases and updates for over the next year. The Industrial Gateway Server is our protocol driver solution that provides hundreds of protocols to talk to the devices on your plant floor. This will have a new release at the end of this year, version 7.7, and it will include driver updates, including support for ControlLogic, the latest ControlLogic firmware, and enhancements to the MT Connect driver and other capabilities and updates that have been done over the past year. Simplicity iPower has been actually released. I wanted to highlight that it is now available for Simplicity 2024. The iPower add-on is targeted specifically for power applications and provides a number of templates and classes and objects and tools that are very helpful in the power industry, and it is built on top of Simplicity. So now, up till this release, you could only use iPower with Simplicity 2023 and before. That has now been updated and is available in our new ordering tool for Simplicity 2024. Another add-on and companion tool that we works with Simplicity to provide reporting is Dream Report. Dream Report will be released at the end of 2025, the latest version, and will feature some significant new capabilities, including especially a new interactive trending tool. Dream Report not only generates static reports, but allows you to have a web view that can give you live reports of what is happening in your system. And this new interactive trending tool will provide enhanced visualization capabilities within those reports. And you can see some of the other key features that will be added as part of that new release here. Here's just a couple of visualized views of that trending tool capability, providing many different types of charting capabilities that you can add to your reports to make them more compelling and easier to read and comprehend and see how things are being done within your plant floor or to for compliance and things like that. So now I'd like to take a few minutes and just walk you through our active update feature a little more. This is, I think, a really compelling feature when it comes to being able to more confidently do upgrades to your system, whether that's upgrades to your project or even upgrading from one version of Simplicity to another. One of the challenges, obviously, when doing updates is having to stop production to be able to, both implement those updates and then test and make sure things continue to work. So Active Update strives to give you that capability while things continue to run. So for example, if you're in a production system and you have a production SCADA talking to your plant floor devices and then communicating up that information to our viewers or to Operations Hub or terminal server sessions and web safes, etc. While that's running, let's say that you wanted to upgrade to a new OS because, for example, Windows 10 is going out of support and you need to upgrade to your OS, and maybe in conjunction with that, you're currently running an older version of Simplicity, like Simplicity 10, which is now out of support. Now you want to move up to Simplicity 2024. What Active Update allows you to do is to spin up this secondary server running within your production system. So, typically and is still recommended that you run it in a test system to make sure things are working the way you think they should. But what this allows you to do is to bring that server up in your production system in a mode that will not impact the production system until you are ready. So for example, if you bring up this system in what we call test mode or read-only mode, that system will still receive all of the updates from your plant floor devices, but any set points or writes that are made as part of the testing of this secondary server with these new updates will be written out. You can choose to write them out to either a logging file or a database, which would allow you to set up your CI/CD or automated tests to configure, to check to make sure those set points were what you think they would be, but they would not actually go to the plant floor, allowing the production server to continue to be in control and keeping things stable. This would then, you would then also be able to bring up test viewers to test and point to the secondary or this test server to make sure that all your visualizations continue to work. The alternative to broadcast feature that I talked about initially is a great way to do this, as it allows you to set up a test viewer and talk to this secondary or sort of this test server directly and be configured to directly talk to it. Because typically you would probably bring up a secondary server with the same project name as the production server. And this is challenging to do this in a broadcast scenario. So by providing this alternative to broadcast, you'll be able to have viewers pointing directly to a production server or a test server and make sure things are working correctly. And when you're ready, once you've tested it out and you're pretty confident that this changed Simplicity project or Simplicity version is working as you think it will work, we will provide the ability to switch the modes in a coordinated fashion where through a REST API or through a user interface in the workbench, you'll be able to actually initiate a switch. And as that switch happens, we'll provide with you the ability to protect critical sections of functionality to make sure they finish before the switch happens. But once you're ready and you hit this active update switch, the server that was running the productions system will become a test SCADA. So its mode will switch to test, and the one you the server you were testing will then become the production SCADA and will start to operate the plant. And this can all be done with little to no downtime on your production system. Just by switching the modes, it's a very simple switch and a very quick switch, you know, respecting critical sections. It will give you that ability to not only switch over and start using a newly updated system, but if after this switch you discover that things aren't working quite the way you thought they should, you could easily just hit the switch again and go back into production mode the way it was before, so that you can do more testing or fixing on your test server. So this capability really contributes to that capability to have zero downtime as you do major updates to your system with confidence, allowing you to keep up to date both with Simplicity versions and with the latest changes that you've made to your project. So now we'll just take a few minutes and show you this in action, and we'll turn the time over to my colleague Scott to share a demo of this, and then we'll continue after that.
What I've got running here on the screen is 3 projects. I've got a coordinator project, which is running in production right now. As you see down here in this is the active update dialog. Over here to the right, I've got another node that's running a paint shop project. So both are running paint shop projects, and my follower partner here is in test mode. And I've also got an OPC UA server that's acting as a device point, a simulated device point that a production server would be writing to. So let me go ahead and show you. So I've got a couple different panels here. And so I'm simulating sort of a paint shop again. So over here, this window here is showing a device point write on my OPC UA server. It's just showing like second of day on there right now. So if I go and I power on my main power, this is going to, a supervisor would enable, let's say, a robot, which would start writing to this device point. And you're going to see now this number here. I'm doing device set points on my OPC UA server to this device. And then I'm not going to show you this yet, but we'll see now that these writes are occurring because this robot is turned on. So I'm actively writing to this PLC, for instance. So down here in the active update window, this is launched again from the workbench here via this icon. I'm pointing my partner, my follower, is on this other node addressed by its node name, and then it's also identified by a project ID that's configured over here on the right. So if I do a test against this, it'll give me this information that you're already seeing here from the last test I did. So I do a test, I get some information back. It tells me I've initiated a test switch with the partner. It tells me my partner, its project name on SD Histo 2 is currently in test mode, which over here it is in test mode. And it tells you what would happen if you actually initiated the switch with the partner. So this project would change from prod to test, and my partner project would change from test to production. Now, if you recall, once a project is put into test mode, it will no longer do device point writes. So what we're expecting to see here is once I do a switch and I change this project here to test mode, that my device points over here will not take, and this number will freeze at wherever it currently is. So let me just go ahead and show that. I'm going to do a switch. Right. So now we see we swap modes. My mode is now test on this project, and my partner is set to production. We don't get any updates here on these device points because they're suppressed or ignored now. We also have other options on the ops mode itself where you can have different logging features enabled. So I've got this up, and you're going to see Right now I've got it logging to the core status log whenever those set points are ignored. But again, you can write them to the change approval database, or you can write them to a flat file CSV. So every second we're trying to write out updated point value to that device point, and you're getting all these ignored requests. We're requesting all these values be set, and they're not taking. So as soon as I would switch back, right, well, there's some other debug stuff in here for as far as watching the workflow of changing that mode, but you're going to see now the number begins updating again because this project just swapped back to production. Now, there's a couple other things playing here where if I do another test, show you some of the locking stuff, and this is basically, let's say that you had some manual induction line on this robot where you wanted to make sure that no one could do a switch on you while you're manually handling this sprayer. So we have this other API that's part of Active Update, which basically allows you again to lock a critical section of your code. So what this is simulating is this is going to generate one of these locks. So I'm simulating that. If I go test now, you're going to see that my lock count is now 1. So if the operator that's doing this switch, or whoever is managing this switch, would see, well, I have a lock count now of 1. So I'm not actually going to be able to do this switch. It won't complete until all my locks are clear. So if I try to switch now, right, it's going to sit and it's going to wait, and it's going to wait for these locks to clear until there's some other values in there. We've added timeouts that we're still working through some of that, where if it doesn't complete in a certain amount of time, then that operation will abort and revert back any changes it's made. But now let's say that operator has finished doing their manual induction. They've finished spraying the car, for instance. So that lock is cleared. That lock is now cleared. The switch completes. And now this project is in test mode. So, and you'll see the set points being ignored again on an incremental basis.